In high school, I was a coach for North Carolina Special Olympics. You think that people who have a greater set of challenges in front of them are less positive about it, but they're not. And working with people like that made me realize that I could go after a much bigger challenge than myself. The Army specifically, and the opportunities that West Point provided, really wanted to go and really wanted to commission as an officer. I ended up getting in there and decided that that was where I was going to go. The school year ended off well. I passed all my classes. Then I had the opportunity to come home. And it was going to be a marvelous 3 days of leave in Chapel Hill. Took a day off and then went and did an open water swim with my little brother, Jacob. Nothing, it was an indicator to me that maybe something was wrong until I got home from the open water swim and realized that there was something on my body that had not been there that morning. The most significant change of my life to date would happen over the next few hours. We were told that I more than likely had rhabdomyosarcoma, which is a pediatric form of cancer. That put the question in my head for the next 4 years, like, would I still be able to commission? Would I even be able to graduate? Would I even be able to go back to West Point? That big question mark kind of loomed over my head from that moment on. And then we started talking about chemo and what it was really going to be. And for me specifically, that meant chemotherapy every week for 10 weeks straight, and then 2 weeks off to kind of see how my body responded. And then again, and then again, and then again. Cancer, while being a setback, also opened up new doors that I never thought would be opened. And being an undergrad Tar Heel was one of them. Of course, my family and my friends were worried about the treatment, what was going on, whether or not I was gonna live, what was gonna happen, was I gonna be able to go back? And I was more worried about living to the absolute fullest and doing the things that I enjoyed doing. So I raced with UNC's triathlon team fall and spring semester. And every race got more and more difficult as I got more and more out of shape, and the effect on my body was worse and worse. And that all led to nationals that spring. My mom and dad were there. I always remember my dad running next to the finish chute with his phone, just yelling like, "Go, go, you can do this." Down the road, I kind of see a bunch of Carolina blue and then a bunch of black and gold. And it was my West Point teammates and my Carolina teammates coming out to cheer for me and get me through the line. Getting across the line, wearing my Carolina blue across my chest. And it was just one of probably the coolest finish of my life by far. After treatment finished, I knew that I had a set of disqualifying conditions that would preclude my ability to commission into the Army after graduating West Point. Having passed the physical fitness test, I was able to be a cadet again, but the question of was I going to be able to commission was still in the air. And then in April, I still had no idea. Graduation was about a month away. So I reached out to my advising officer at West Point and said, "Hey, sir, have you heard anything yet? Do you happen to know?" And he responded, "Oh yeah, my bad, forgot. See below." Oh no, what is this? And I scroll down and open the attachments, and it's a list of all the approved medical waivers. And there it says, Cadet Alexander Werden is receiving a full medical waiver to commission into the Army. I was so ecstatic, because that meant that it was all gonna work. It didn't mean that the end of the road was there, but the light at the end of the tunnel that I'd been pursuing was real. And I was gonna be in the Army and be an officer.
When cancer affects anyone, it can be a dramatically altering life experience. And one of the things that we try to do in the CCSP is to help people stay who they are, retain their identity, get through treatment as successfully as possible, and then move on in whatever way they want to move on, just as Alex has done.
The CCSP really cares about you as a person, what you want to do, not just who you are, who you want to be, and moving you there, even though you're going through something that most people at most places just pauses your life and just stops it.
This kind of support isn't just a nice thing to do for patients when they're going through cancer, but it's critical to their overall cancer treatment. And we have evidence to show that it changes outcomes for the better.
We have this amazingly supportive team that looks out for adolescent and young adult patients and says, your life's not stopping. You're just going to spend a little bit of it here.
And we couldn't do this, the entire CCSP, without the generosity of donors. So I'm delighted and very grateful that there have been so many people who want to help out with our mission to help patients through their cancer.